Steve the Hurricane here, and welcome to another episode of A Drink with the Hurricane. Today we're going to have some Shiraz. Delicious. I absolutely love what I do. So let's get right down to the nitty-gritty. Today I got a great question for you. Now many people have asked me this question, but I'm going to single out Melissa from Ohio because she actually put it in a really nice term here. So for Melissa from Ohio, she writes me an email. Steve, I've been in business 2 years now. I'm doing okay, but I can't seem to grow my census more than 20 clients. I call upon every senior center, independent living facility, and physician in the area. Any advice is greatly appreciated. Well, Melissa and every other person who's ever asked me or wondered where to go for business, I'm going to tell you that senior centers and independent living facilities, they're good referral sources. However, the downside about those referral sources are you're going to get people who are trying home care out or they're thinking about it more proactively, which kudos to them. But for the business standpoint, you're going to get somebody who wants help 2 to 3 hours a day, 2 to 3 days a week, which are a nightmare for your schedulers. The aides aren't going to show up on time with consistency, and you're going to have a revolving door, and you're going to have service failures. So those aren't necessarily the cases that you want. Now, whether you're Medicare or private duty home care, the two places that you want to develop are hospitals and SNFs. Now let's start with the hospitals. Hospitals are great because when somebody goes to the hospital, usually it's some kind of crisis. They go to the emergency room or they go to their physician, and the physician directly admits them to the hospital with an emergency. When they come home from a hospital, usually it's you're coming home tomorrow or you're going home this afternoon. So they have a little bit of time to make a decision for something that they're going to need a lot of help with. If somebody had a massive stroke, chances are their spouse is not going to be able to help them, and their son or daughter either works or they're out of state, so they're not around to help, so they're going to need additional help. And this is where you come in, whether you're Medicare or private duty. Obviously, if you're Medicare, they're going to give you a certain amount of benefit because they need the nursing, they need the therapy, they need everything else. For the private duty, they're going to need additional services beyond what Medicare covers. So that's why you want to go to the hospitals. Not to mention the amount of discharges that hospitals do in a week is just absurd. So that's the other reason why you need to develop hospitals. Now, they're not easy to develop, but at Hurricane Marketing Bootcamp in January, I'm going to go over exactly how you can develop a hospital, whether it's an open door or a closed door facility like it's Fort Knox. That is something you don't want to miss, okay? The next facility that we're going to talk about are the SNFs. Now, SNFs are my personal favorite type of referral source to develop. Why? Well, first off, a SNF stands for Skilled Nursing Facility. And every skilled nursing facility is usually broken down into two sections. One side is the long-term care side, which is considered the nursing home. And the other side of it is the subacute rehab, or just the rehabilitation side of it. Now, a lot of places are focusing on the rehab because that's where they make the most amount of money with the insurance and the Medicare reimbursement, which works out for us. If a place is doing 60 discharges a month Medicare, every one of those patients going home is going to get the Medicare benefit. So for the Medicare certified home care companies, that's 60 possible clients you could have in a month. You need to develop the SNFs. For the private duty, about 5 to 10% of those discharges are going to need additional help beyond what Medicare covers. Your strokes, your CHF patients, your people with hip fractures and hip replacements, and so on and so forth. Those people, when they go home, they're not going to need 6 hours a week of home care. They're going to need 20, 30, 40 hours, maybe a live-in, maybe 2 by 12 shifted. Those are the kind of cases that you want. Those are the ones that you're best suited to staff, and those are the ones that the person really needs. So it's just fulfilling a mission. That's why you have to develop these accounts. Now again, these accounts are not easy to develop. At Hurricane Marketing Bootcamp, we're going to go over exactly how to develop the hospitals and the SNFs. We're going to go step by step on what you have to do to get in there, how to do the lunch and learn, how to create a campaign, how to get the referrals, how to be able to offer them something that they need so that this way they're going to be willing to work with you. So if you haven't signed up for that conference by now, I strongly urge you to. Just last week we had over 5 people sign up for the conference, and it's not even for another 16 weeks still. This month in October we're running a special promotion, $50 off registration, so I really hope to see you there in 2013. We're filling the place up. We just booked a brand new place because the last place wasn't large enough to host it. So this place is actually in downtown Philadelphia. Philadelphia, less than a mile away from the airport. It's the Sheraton Suites Hotel. This way, if you're out of state, you can fly in, take a shuttle to the conference. After the conference, take a shuttle back to the airport and get back to where you need to do to go out there and grow your business. So let's have an amazing 2013. Register for Hurricane Marketing Bootcamp today. Till then, I can't wait to see you. God bless. Have a safe and amazing week. Take care, everybody. See you soon.